Hi, in this video I will be talking about the Delay Navigator. This is a screen that answers one of the most fundamental questions: why something is delayed. Usually this takes a lot of time and effort to figure out, especially when it comes to schedules that are more complicated. I mean, an activity can have tens or even hundreds or even thousands of predecessors belonging to multiple paths, and each one of them has their own predecessors and their own circumstances. So who's responsible? That can take a lot of hours normally to figure out. That's why we built a Delay Navigator. This is a tool to help you navigate this web of dependencies and help you get to your answers easier. So let's have a look. So here's the screen. We like simplicity, so all you have to do is select an activity and we will tell you why it's late. Let's do that. Here, there is a find activity bar where I can search any kind of activity that I want. For now, I will select the review for gate 4. Clicking on it, the algorithm will do its magic, and I will see after some time the results in the form of this graph. Let's have a look at this graph. The blue card is the activity that we are examining right now. Gate 4 review, gate 4 review. The big number here tells you the delay contribution, how much this activity is contributing to the delay. So as you can see here, the activity itself is not responsible for its own delay. It has 0% delay contribution. And quite often this happens. Quite often there's other activities behind you that are pushing you, and sometimes even they are being pushed by someone else. This is what the white cards are for. They are the predecessor of the blue activity. For example, here we see that it's the concept design and station works that pushes the review for gate 4. That's why it's responsible for 50% of the delay. And it by itself, in turn, is being pushed by its own predecessor, the design management plan, which is responsible for 32% of the delay contribution. So now you can see where this can get very complicated very fast if you do it by hand. It's not only about the activity itself, but it's about the predecessors of that activity and the predecessors of the predecessors, which you have to follow over multiple paths. And this is where the value of the screen comes at. It can untangle that convoluted web and point you to the right direction. And you can do that without having to meticulously grind through those endless paths and hundreds of activities. Just one click, that's all it takes. On the following part, we will talk a little bit about contribution a little bit more in depth. Now let's have a look at how we calculate this delay contribution. Our system looks at the following factors: start dates, end dates, duration, addition of new activities, and in the following weeks, we will also add logic changes and constraint changes. How does this all work? In general, if your duration increases, it's your own responsibility. Also, if you start later than you should have started without being pushed by anyone behind you, it's also your responsibility. For everything else, in general, it's your predecessor's fault. Now, there's a little bit more nuance to it than that, but I will talk about it in detail on a different video. For now, let's have a look at how you can see this information on your screen. Now, on the screen itself, you can see this information by clicking on this little arrow here on the card. For example, here, by clicking on this activity, you will see that the design management plan had a duration increase of 19 calendar days, which caused a 56 calendar days of delay to the gate 4 review, which is the activity in question. And that contributes 32% of the total finish delay. Clicking here, for example, we will discover that this is a new activity, and the addition of this activity in the schedule with a duration of 92 calendar days caused 86 days of delay to the gatefold review, which is 50% of the total finish delay. Now we know that even with all that, how it's decided who is responsible for a delay can vary a lot based on your contract, your client, or even the country that the project is being built on. For that, we have reject dates mode. Here, by clicking here, you can see all our data in detail without any contribution and decide on your own. You will be able to see the finish delay of each activity, start delay, the duration increase, when it was planned to start and finish, and when it actually finished. At the very least, this screen can point you in the right direction and save you tons of time instead of you manually going through those hundreds of activities and multiple paths. So it's up to you. Either you can use our own algorithm, or you can just use the screen to find quite a lot of good suspects and check the data by yourself. So this is the last part of the video, I promise. First of all, allow me to say that you can download all the data by clicking here on download, and you can see everything in an Excel format. And now I'm going to talk about a screen that we will add in the following days of when you're seeing this video. Next to the graph, in the following days, you will see a changes across schedule tab. Clicking on that will get you to this table. Here, we are showing you how the activities that are contributed to the delay changed across your updates. So, for example, you know that duration affects the delays. Okay, but how did that duration change across the updates? When did this change happen? So in the previous screen, we're telling you why something is late, what changes caused delays. Here we are telling you when did these changes happen. Because sometimes you need to pinpoint exactly what went wrong. All right. So for example, here you see all the activities that you will see in this graph here. And here you will see the changes that happened in the duration of each one of those activities. And here you will see the contribution. For example, the concept design as 50% of the contribution. You can see that it got added on September 2016. Duration got decreased here. Everything was normal, and then you had steady increase in duration to get a total increased duration of 40 days. You can do that with the start date, the end date, the duration, and the total float. Again, this screen tells you what has changed and why something is delayed. This one tells you when those changes happened. Thank you very much. I hope you find this video useful. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact us.